Hey, ladies. Hello, and welcome to tonight's session of Black Women Making Money. It's your girl, Cherie, in the building. Hope you had a great day today. It is officially Wealth Wednesday, officially Hump Day. But yeah, on Wednesday, we're calling it Wealth Wednesday. And I saw a video that I thought was really great with regards to scamming. And we have a lot of scamming happening in the world. We have a lot of scamming happening in Black America, on Black social media. So I wanted to come in and kind of talk about it today. So the first thing we are going to do, though, is have a really quick TikTok update because I got some gossip for you about TikTok. I'm going to make some initial comments. Then I am going to drop the StreamYard link in, and we are going to watch the video of the hour with regards to this topic. Ladies, don't forget to like the video. If you are listening to the replay, please put replay gang or one in the comments if you're listening to the replay, so that way the algorithms can bless us. Okay, really quickly, let's start off with a TikTok update because there's something juicy happening with TikTok right now. Let's make this bigger for you. Most of you probably know who Alexandria Ocasio Cortez is, especially if you are tapped into politics in any way. Well, apparently, AOC has never been on TikTok until now. Why do you say AOC has been on TikTok? First of all, most of you I'm seeing here, I see Charwilly and Selfish Love and Rose and Computer and Coin. Hello. Um, you all saw my stream from last week about TikTok potentially being banned, how the CEO went in front of Congress, and I said TikTok ain't paying enough money, right? Well, guess what TikTok did with the little bit of money that they gave? So let's read here. And this is Fox Business. So, of course, everything has a slant to it with Republicans and Democrats. But let's read who got basically pennies from TikTok. It says here Representative Alexandria Ocasio Cortez was criticized for defending TikTok after it was revealed the app's Chinese owned parent gave six-figure donations to the Black and Hispanic caucus nonprofits. Fox News Digital previously reported that disclosure shows ByteDance, which is TikTok's Chinese parent company, funneled they didn't even give these people seven figures, y'all. They gave them six figures. Six-figure contributions to nonprofits aligned with the Congressional Black and Hispanic caucuses. ByteDance donated $150,000 to both the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation and the Congressional Hispanic Caucus Foundation in December. Y'all, the price was too low, y'all. How in the world? How in the world? They didn't go to like Nancy Pelosi and them and say, how much money should we hold out for? ByteDance bought the Congressional Black Caucus for $150,000. Y'all, that's no money. Put a one in the chat if you think it's a lot of money. Put in two in the chat if you think Black people sold ourselves too cheap. One in the chat if you think that's no money. Sorry, if you think they did a good job. Two in the chat if you think they got sold off too cheap. Yeah, y'all are saying insulting. Y'all are giving me twos here, twos here. Yes. These people are making $18 billion a year. They're about to be banned from the United States. They're banned in India. They're banned in Australia, not all of Australia, but the government agencies in Australia and all over the world. And the Congressional Black Caucus gave itself up for $150,000. Y'all, the price is too cheap. As we always do, Rose is exactly correct. So that's my gossip for the evening with regards to TikTok. We'll see what happens with the ban. We'll see what else they do. I bet you Nancy Pelosi isn't taking $150,000 from TikTok. I bet you Nancy Pelosi is like, y'all gonna have to come up with some real money, some real coins. So hey, selfish love saying you can't wait for this one. I hope things are going well with the counting season for you. I'm going to answer a couple of the questions you have. Selfish love on Friday. We're going to do an Ask Me Anything session. I have a couple of things in the queue for you. So, hey, Charwilly. Hey, Dark and Lovely. Hey, Rose. And hey, Computer and Coin. Hi, Olivia. Hello, hello. Uh, Shar is saying under six figures after taxes. And that's for the whole caucus. I could see if it was for just one congressperson, but the whole caucus? And I don't know how many people are in the Congressional Black Caucus. Let's take a look at that really quickly. How many people in Congressional Black Caucus? 56 members of the House of Representatives and the Senate. So 56 members. 56, and you only got $150,000 from TikTok. Y'all should be a damn shame of yourselves. Let me join the Congressional Black Caucus. I'll get y'all some real money. I need to get my questions ready for Friday. Yeah, please do. Lisa, we're going to have an Ask Me Anything session. I'm going to drop the link on Friday as well. So if y'all want to come up versus just writing out the questions, you can do that as well. So, hey, Smart Money Chick, hello from Houston. All right. So let's talk a little bit about scamming. Now, um, the first thing with my initial comments is that uh, tonight is not about some celebrity scamming, right? There have been a whole lot of celebrities that have scammed throughout the years. Recently, there were a whole lot of celebrities that scammed through crypto. Lindsay Lohan, Kim Kardashian, Jake Paul, Soldier Boy, Black White, you know, clean cut like Matt Damon, Tom Brady, all the way to the rappers, et cetera, et cetera. But tonight is not about celebrities scamming. And celebrities and rich people have gotten scammed too. I don't care about that. Tonight is about us, right? Tonight, I'm also not here to talk about our most famous YouTube and social media black scammers either. So, we're not talking about Umar, even though I'm not saying Umar is a scammer because I don't want to get sued, or Jay Morrison or any of those other guys that are out there. Certain credit repair people, there are all sorts of people that do content on that. But this is a level up channel. And Black women are the most degreed and educated group of people. We have a thirst for knowledge and information. And what I see here is as we are leveling up our knowledge in this group, as a group of upwardly mobile Black women, we are also susceptible to scams. Some of the scams can be romantically, right? We've talked about that before, having some man lay in your bed, get mail at your house, and next thing you know, you can't put him out. We've had those conversations. But some of the scams are based from an educational point of view. We saw a couple of months ago, I think it was about the nursing scam, right? Where these nurses were getting certifications from a school that wasn't certified, right? But there are also other people who are preying on us as upwardly mobile Black women. There are people who know that we want to get into tech and they will prey on us with boot camps and, I promise you I'll get you into this company or that company or things like that. I want us to be aware of those individuals as well. Yeah, Alonzo is saying salute the homosexuals. Yeah, absolutely. Dark and Lovely saying sadly their value is to gather the Black vote. Oh yeah, that's the Congressional Black Caucus. Yeah. Let's be honest, the CBC doesn't carry any real political weight. They don't. Nobody listens to the CBC. You're saying I never fall for stuff like that. I'm glad you don't. But I will say this: as AI comes about, these scams are going to get more and more sophisticated. As the economy turns, the scams are going to get more and more sophisticated. So it's going to be very important for us to have our eyes open, our ears open, and not trust anything that we see, anything that people tell us, any celebrity that's out there that is, saying this is the greatest thing since sliced bread, etc. And I really wanted to have this conversation with us tonight. There was a video that came out a couple of years ago from a guy named CoffeeZilla that we're going to play tonight, and I'm going to react to it. I'm going to drop the StreamYard link in as well. Hey, D'Ambrosia, good to see you. You all can come up, and because this is not just about me, and this is not me giving information or this other guy who is the journalist expert giving information. This is about all of us sharing information so that we can be smarter as we're navigating through the next several years, because we are prey. As upwardly mobile Black women, we are prey to anybody who thinks they can come into our universe and say, "Hey, I can get you a job that's double where you are right now. Yeah, you're making 50 now or you're making 60 now, but I can help you get up to 100,000. Just pay me $4,000, etc." So, and some of them may not be as blatant and as polished, right? Hey, India. Good evening. Hey, Black Widow. Okay, make sure that I said everything. It's also, you have people selling courses, for thousands of dollars, who their only check comes from being on YouTube, being on Clubhouse, being on Instagram, and selling you courses. They haven't done what is in the course before, or if they have done what is in the course, they've only made $10,000 at doing that thing. And then they've made $1 million from selling the course, where they only made $10,000 from the actual activity. Oftentimes, people won't tell you these things until you start digging down into their story. Um, but it's important for us, again, to be smart with regards to all of the information, all of the ways that people are going to try to separate us from our money. Now, I'm not saying if somebody has something that's legit that you don't get it, but I'm going to share with you some of the things that I do personally. We're going to watch this video tonight. I'm actually going to share the StreamYard link in case anybody wants to come and talk about scamming. You are welcome to do that. So let me pin. Oh, come on. There we go. I pinned the link there for everybody. And TT is saying it's been a while, but watch out for some of these so-called coaches too, ladies. Excellent topic. Yes, these dating coaches that are out here, both male and female, these femininity coaches that are out here, these people that have wife schools and are not wives. Even if the woman has a wife school and she is a wife, watch out, because she could have gotten married in 1992. It's totally different scene today. She could have gotten married in 2022, but she has a different, set of circumstances from you, et cetera, et cetera. So a lot of people are desperate and they're going to prey on you. That's the biggest thing that I wanted to share. So I put the StreamYard link in for anybody who wants to come up and talk about this. Mocha Mommy, on Sunday, we talked about Alex and Layla Hormozy. And, we talked about online courses and things like that. And Mocha Mommy asked me the question, why do you think we are seeing so many paid courses online and how do we vet these content creators? And I thought that was an excellent question. I am going to give you the answers that I gave Mokamami on Sunday. I think number one is that you have so many paid courses online because courses are easy money. It's very, very high profit margins. If you buy someone's course for $5,000, they may have a little bit of marketing cost in there, but they basically get to keep a lot of the money that you are giving them. There are some people who are very, very aggressive with regards to separating you from your money. So that's number one. There's a lot of desperate people in the world who are looking for health, wealth, and relationships. And happiness is another thing that CoffeeZilla says. People will pay anything for love. They'll pay anything for the level up financially. They'll pay anything to get out of sickness and get back into health or at least normalcy with their health. And we're praying. Um, Again, there are a lot of people that I see who, like, they'll be on a podcast or there'll be an article, and you'll read through the article and they'll say, "Oh, yeah, this person made $1 million last year from a virtual admin business." And you read the article and it'll say they made, I don't know, $1,200, $12,000, let's say, from from being a virtual admin, and the rest of the money they made from selling courses about how to be a virtual admin. Well, like, what am I supposed to do with that? That's a waste, right? So I try to really take a look at what people have done and how much they have made within, like, um whatever business category they're in. The third thing for Cherie is that Cherie does not spend more than $200 on anyone's course unless I've been following them for 3 years, 2 to 3 years minimum. I gotta see you long term. The reason I have a threshold of $200 is because if I spend less than $200 and your course is crap, then I really am like, well, it's okay. I just chalk it up to the game. But thousands of dollars? No, I gotta see you long term. I gotta see you long term. Some of you may say, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna go back and look at what the person was doing 2 years ago, and then move forward." But recognize that there are a lot of people that are deleting videos now, privating videos, so be careful with that as well. Be careful with that as well, because people are getting desperate again. They have a certain lifestyle that they need to maintain, and they will protect their online reputation at all cost. And a lot of people won't speak up when they have been scammed or when they have information about certain people. Black Widow is saying, yep, they are pitching online courses like crazy. Yeah, they are. Spirituality, health, and career is always the topic of conversation right now. Yes, especially a lot of the tech certifications in Black America. I'm not saying they're all bad. There are a lot of them are good. But I believe that people are seeing that us as Black women, upwardly mobile Black women, we're hungry to get into tech. And my concern is that there will be people coming for us who are going to prey on that hunger to get into tech and other types of careers that get us to six figures. So I really want us to be careful about that. Side hustle is an ongoing conversation now. It is. It is. And as someone who has made money full time in business as a business owner slash freelancer since 2009, full time, I can tell you it is really, really hard. The majority of people are selling you a field of dreams. They tell you about all the great stuff you're able to do, how you're able to do this and do that, and have your own perfect example. You can have your own schedule. You can have your own schedule. What they don't tell you is that as an entrepreneur, you are going to work 7 days a week. You're going to work a minimum of 60 hours a week. A lot of times you would make more money being in a 9 to 5 position and just eating the taxes, or doing a 9 to 5 position and buying some real estate and using that for depreciation, than you will being an entrepreneur. I'm here to tell you the truth. So, um, I never just spend thousands of dollars on a course. There are free courses and help for job pivots through the state and multiple types of boot camps. No need to pay. Absolutely. Yeah, y'all, get the likes up, please. Everybody get the likes up, get the likes up. Okay. So, I also suggest that, and this goes to what Black Widow Row was saying, is that a lot of courses that are out there only give you the basics. You're able to get the basics of 99% of any subject on YouTube. One of the things that I like to do when I like to do a deep dive into a topic is I like to find videos that are 90 minutes or longer. There are some videos where you will have an instructor teaching for 2 to 3 hours on YouTube in one video. Now, you don't have to watch the video all at once. You can put that puppy and watch later, watch 30 minutes a day. But for me, those are the best types of videos when I really want to learn the 101 about a specific topic. And I happen to like YouTube University. You could also do something in Udemy very inexpensively. There are some really great courses that are 20 bucks on Udemy. Most of us, if we drop 20 bucks on something to get the 101 of how to do something, like that's okay. I'm just not dropping thousands of dollars. Taxes will eat your entrepreneurial money. Yeah, well, you get the deductions. You definitely will. But, Black Widow, you can come up. You can come up, definitely. The StreamYard link is in the chat, so if anyone wants to come up, you can. So that's what I do. I don't believe in any testimonials. People are paying people for testimonials these days. Do not believe. Well, I don't believe testimonials. I'm not telling you what to believe. I don't believe testimonials. Another thing that I told Mokomami on Sunday is that people will always leave steps out of their instructions. People will always leave stuff out of their instructions. So, if I'm spending thousands of dollars on a course, I expect there to be some coaching attached to it, whether it's one-on-one, a group, or some sort of way for me to get my questions answered. And then the final thing is that a lot of times you'll have these course creators that'll say, you know, here's the amount of money that it takes for the course, but here's the amount of time that you have to spend in order to be successful. Take that seriously as well, because if you don't have the time to dedicate to that course and actually doing the steps necessary to be successful, over a certain threshold, I don't spend the money. Now, for example, I spent a money on a tax lien course a couple of years ago that was, I think, $250. And I put it to the side because I know one day I'm going to invest in my tax liens, but I was okay with that. So, Black Widow Row is in the building. Hello.
Hello, Sheree. I just wanted to say thank you so much for letting me up here. I watch your videos profusely. I love,
Thank
love,
you.
love your content. They're so informative and it's helped me a lot.
Thank you. What do you have to say about the topic about the scamming?
I just wanted to say that I totally agree with mostly everything you said, especially when it comes to technology courses. And one of the things that I have been seeing, so my background is in project management and Scrum.
Okay.
And so I've been seeing a lot of people, especially with these tech layoffs and stuff, push a lot of Scrum and Agile courses.
Mm-hmm.
The issue that with that, and this is just to throw it out there for anybody who is making that pivot, as I'm already in the field, that's one of those, that field of work is more so about like experience and really seeing the projects being done.
Hmm.
And it can't necessarily be taught because you have to be on the field to really understand how a project is run and how Scrum is seen in an agile environment, number
Mm-hmm.
one. And number two, a lot of these so-called like Scrum Masters are just people who took the 2 day course and they know the Scrum Guide verbatim and are just regurgitating what's in the Scrum Guide, selling it as a course because they can't find a job. I remember two of my friends wanted to pivot into being a Scrum Master, and that field of work has changed dramatically. And this is coming from someone who is a Scrum Master currently looking for another job. So they're looking for more so project management experience, which I have. I was telling her that, like, this is a very tough market, even for me. And I have a lot of experience, extensive at that.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her, don't buy any course because they're going to start selling like $2,000 courses. I've seen a $10,000 course on being a scrum master, and it's not even worth the money. And this is obviously no shade to
Mm-hmm.
anybody's business necessarily, or business acumen or skill set, but it's one of those things where they see that people are very hungry to get into technology, especially Black women.
Mm-hmm.
And they're definitely scamming a lot of people. And what they don't tell you is that when you interview, you can tell when you've been a scrum master or not, or even a project manager. And it's actually a mid-level tier job. People keep acting like it's like, the entry level pivot, and it's not at all.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I wanted to throw that out there. And even for myself, and this is just me being vulnerable, I'm looking to even pivot into cybersecurity. I was going to niche down anyway, which honestly, that was like poor planning on my part. I should have did this like 6 months ago. So this is definitely me playing catch up because I'm 28 at the moment. But yeah, I'm niching down to cyber because I feel like I need to niche down because the market is getting so much smaller right now. And so the way people look at Scrum Masters is so different than back then. And so
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to throw that out there because I feel like people need to do extensive research on where they want to pivot into technology, and really speaking to people in that part of the field of tech you want to look into before buying any course,
Mm-hmm.
especially if it's above $200, and especially if there's other courses out there and resources that you can get for free and get at least an introduction. Because I know on YouTube, like, I'm upskilling currently, and I really do just go on YouTube and look at my interests to see if that's what I want to learn. Like, I'm currently learning Splunk because I
Mm-hmm.
saw it on YouTube first because I want to niche down with that and then pivot into cybersecurity.
I'm so glad that you were vulnerable enough to come and talk about this as somebody who's in technology. One of the things that I have suggested to people as they are venturing into any new field, but tech is the one that's most prevalent, is to go to LinkedIn and find 10 people who have the job that you think you want, who do not have a course attached to it. They just work in the field, work that job, and DM them in LinkedIn and say, "Hey, would you mind? I'm trying to get into the field. I have some questions. I just want to make sure if this is something that I should be doing." And let those people open up to you and tell you what's really happening in the field. Is it expanding? Is it contracting? Who's hiring? What do you really need? Because a lot of times I believe that some people are getting these jobs not because of what's on their LinkedIn, but because of who they know, or, you know, what church they went to, or what school they went to, or, things like that. So, you know, I would suggest that we not just take courses before we really kind of network with people and talk with people and figure out not only what's happening today, but what's going to be happening 5 years from now as well, because things are just changing so quickly.
I completely agree. Because
Hmm.
even for me, I have drastically changed my mindset. Um, I believe in networking strongly. And
Hmm.
I've definitely been putting myself back out there again. And I never even thought I would have to again. And I know that sounds so corny, but I had realized, like, oh my gosh, this is what they mean when you have to continuously get to know people and
Hmm.
learn new things. because there comes a time where you realize sometimes even the network that you have previously is not strong enough, and you have to reach higher, and you have to really talk to people, and especially within your field of work. I know for me personally, and I'm learning this now, like especially being a scrum master, this is all about networking because it's technically a
Yeah.
non-technical field. Now, yes, I have a technical background. I was a software developer before this, by the way. But
Hmm.
yes, it's coming to the point where in this field of work, they're hiring like engineers to be scrum masters. So a lot of your jobs are
Wow.
basically being taken by engineers who can just get a scrum master cert. Does that make sense?
It does, and that's actually worse in a way,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of engineers at one point did not have any personality in the soft skills, and I believe over the past 10 years they've really been tackling that for them to have a certain number of engineers who do have soft skills and management skills and can work with people as well. So I'm starting to see a lot more charismatic engineers out there,
Yes.
whereas one point you didn't.
Yes, exactly. And then
Mhm.
also see how they are basically, as we all know in technology, if engineers are getting laid off, you know it's real.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you have to always keep up. And I'm
Mhm.
only saying that because a lot of senior engineers, you know, engineering management and stuff, that's usually who they're keeping because they're excellent at code. You know, I'm
Mhm.
mid tier, I'm in mid career right now. So, of course, people like me are being prone to be laid off. So, that's why I always have to keep up with my skills. I'm currently learning cloud
Mhm.
and stuff like that. I'm still applying for jobs nonetheless, but I realize that, you know, competition is fierce and the bare minimum is just not going to suffice anymore.
It's not going to be
And
enough.
so,
Those
yes,
those are my famous four, ladies. I know I keep saying it, but it's so important. It's your technical skills, your soft skills, your networks, multicultural networks, and your
yep,
resources. You know,
exactly.
and you got to work on all four of them. There used to be a time where, if we just had the technical skills, if we listened to Mama saying, "Well, you're younger than I am." My mom used to say, keep your mind on the books and off them boys. There used to be enough back in my day when I was your age. It's not enough anymore. Like, you got to
Hmm.
know people to get into places. And with the C-19, I guess we could call it COVID now on YouTube, um, people have learned that companies have learned they can get away with fewer people. They can have people work remotely. They can have people work around the world. You have
Hmm.
companies, especially in the Philippines and in India, who are propping themselves up, and their countries are propping them up as places where Americans can offshore for cheap labor. You know,
Yep.
if
Oh, yes. That's what
you
I wanted to
you
mention too.
yeah, go ahead.
Yes, not to interrupt you. I wanted to say that, yeah, I don't know if anybody's been noticing, but people can offshore the labor too in technology. And by that, I mean even admin work, software admin work like Jira, Splunk, Salesforce, all of those. Um, at this moment in time, it's like we are literally competing globally with other people. And I think people don't understand how fierce it is in the technology space. Because I'm not going to lie, sometimes I see some of the posts and I kind of laugh because I think they underestimate what a pivot into tech is. Because it really depends on the company, number one, how competitive they want to be, and what field, like industry, the company is in. Like, yes, being in like a tech software company is different than being like healthcare tech. There's a lot more security in healthcare tech, and I cannot say that enough, as opposed to like big firm. So, being that, like, for example, I was even thinking like, wow, I should have just niched down to being like a Jira admin. I never thought about it until like a couple weeks ago, but I really could have done that with being a scrum master because I already know like queries. in Jira. I really could have done that, but it just never occurred to me. But when you go on Fiverr.com, a lot of people outsource their work there. And as you already know, with overemployment and stuff, people will be working from home and outsource their work there
Absolutely.
too. So,
Absolutely.
of course, there's no shade to the game, you know what I mean? But I feel like as Black women, we need to take into consideration what we're competing against and be realistic. And this is coming from someone who went to a top 20 school. You know,
Hmm.
I'm not coming from like a, oh, I'm, trying to play average and blah, blah, blah. Like, I do try to practice excellence wherever I can, but I realize, like, you know what? I need to put a little bit more pep in my step and see what skill sets are needed to be more competitive and have more edge.
Yeah, yeah. So, well, I want you to stay up if you want to. I'm going to read these two comments here, and then I'm actually going to go into the video that we have. So, Dark and Lovely is saying also companies have tech certs for employees. My friend got a regular job to get into that company. She took advantage of the tech certs available and was recently promoted despite multiple layoffs. We're expecting another layoff for her company because current seasoned tech employees are not upskilling or simply doing their jobs. So, yeah, look, um, it
That's
is
true.
important for all of us to be like on our game, absolutely on our game. So, what I want to do now is I actually want to show the video because this was an excellent um, interview that was done. And I'm going to show various aspects of the video here. So, Black Widow Row, again, you're welcome to stay up if you want to. I'm going to kind of start and stop this and buckle up because the scamming, like I said, is going to get more and more sophisticated, ladies.
Before they're even shared, right? These are like not a lot of these money making opportunities are garbage and have long since ceased to work by the time this fake guru is teaching you how to do it, supposedly.
Absolutely. I mean, like a classic example I always give is there was this Kindle course of how to make $1 million on Kindle or whatever, get rich on Kindle by publishing little 15-minute books, whatever, or 15-page books. And that ended up being a gigantic scam because by the time the course was released, this little gimmick that you could do with Amazon's, I don't want to get into it, but there's this algorithm thing where if you're really clever for a very small window of time, there was a way to make some money, making these crappy books. But by the time they made a course about it, the algorithm had changed. And of course, people were making literally nothing. So you're buying a $2,000 course with all the promises, with all the appearances of, because somebody really did make a crazy amount of money. And of course, you don't see it.
So, this is the first thing I think is interesting in what he said. He's talking about the fact that people will take what worked last year, what worked 2 years ago, sell it to you today for $2,000. And this video is a couple of years old. And a lot of these people are giving you outdated information. A lot of these people giving you outdated information. Oh, you need this cert. Well, do you need it today in order to get in, or is there a different cert you need today to get in? When was the last time somebody actually got into a company as entry level or whatever level you're at with that certification? Right? Flashwave Hello is saying a guy came to my home today to fix my company laptop, and I overheard him refuse another assignment because it only paid $85 an hour. Yeah, that is definitely possible. There are also other people who are scamming people into how to get these types of positions. So it's both. Dark and Lovely, Black Widow Rose saying thank you for your vulnerability and insight. So
Oh, no
um,
problem, dark and lovely.
yeah. But with this guy is saying that people are selling yesterday's information today and stuff is not even working. Anytime you want to jump in Black Widow Row with anything this guy is saying, you can.
Okay.
Rule of thumb is this, guys. If people were making a ton of money with something, you'd be the last to know about it. They're not going to tell the whole world because they want to basically milk the opportunity for as long as it lasts. And of course, competition dries up the opportunity faster than anything else. And so what you end up seeing is what these people do, they milk the opportunity and then they sell the course. They get all their money out of it and then they sell the course. And sometimes they don't even do what they preach. I mean, I know some
The only time that this is not the case is if you're in the inner circle. or if you're partnering with them and you have a specific talent that they need in order to make more money while the thing is working.
Amazon gurus who they don't even sell on Amazon. They just went straight, they faked screenshots, like they faked sales screenshots to say like, oh yeah, I'm such a baller on Amazon. And then they sold a course and they never actually did it. They never actually do the thing that they say they're doing.
So the old thing was to fake screenshots, right? How many of you are have been listening to the whole thing about Haley Bailey and the Little Mermaid? And one of the things that came out with the racism talk about Haley Bailey is that people were going to um, change out Halle Bailey for a white girl with red hair. And that gets me to thinking here the level of things that people are going to do with AI in order to scam you into thinking that whatever video you're seeing is real or whatever picture you're seeing is real or things like that is going to be really out of this world. They're going to be able to fake job interviews. They're going to be able to fake, I don't know, anything you could possibly imagine.
And they're
I don't know.
also faking reviews too.
Faking reviews, and not just written reviews. There was a time you would just fake written reviews or voice calls. Now they're going to be able to fake videos of people, they're going to be able to do scenes with people, etc. It's about to be crazy.
So yeah, a lot of
I love that about your channel because you'll zoom in on this like blurry ass screenshot of a frame of a video and you go, oh, that looks like this. And you'll go to that and it'll be like not the guy that owns that website. That'll be like someone else's website and they're using it as their example of their online business.
These people are absolutely shameless. They don't think you'll notice. I mean, a great example of like the most overt thing that I've ever seen was this guy who's pretty big on YouTube. I mean, super big on YouTube. He faked an appearance on Ellen for like clout for trying to sell his little course where he was teaching you how to make $1 million on YouTube or whatever. And part of his little hype reel where he's about to sell you his course is him appearing on Ellen. He's like, look how successful you can be if you follow my course.
Ladies, this was like 2.5 years ago that he was saying this. Imagine the technology again now.
But when you actually look, it's this clip of him and then Ellen's like laughing at the clip hysterically or whatever. But when you look at that clip of Ellen, I found it and she was reacting to some Adele clip and he cropped out Adele and he put himself and he's like, yeah, look at me on it. These people, they're brazen because they know that most people don't look beyond the absolute surface. I'm sure there's thousands of people before me who watched that and unquestioningly said, oh, well, nice job. You got on Ellen. I could get on Ellen too now if I follow this guy's advice. But no, yeah, that's my favorite thing to do. Those busts are hilarious because they never thought they'd get busted for it. And it's so satisfying to watch these people. That clip was down within like days after I released my video. He's like, took the whole video down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this guy here he's a journalist that exposes scammers. That's what he does. He's a journalist that exposes scammers. Hey, Still Rocks, good to see you. So let's keep listening.
So satisfying to watch these people. That clip was down within like days after I released my video. He's like, took the whole video down.
Yeah. Imagine how long he spent making a fake Ellen appearance. And the thing is, nobody's really looking at this stuff except for you. And of course, I always see stuff and suspect it. But like investigating this stuff, they don't even care. It's like there's this concept. I'm trying to remember who told me this on the show. There was somebody who said the reason these Nigerian scammer emails are so dumb and the reason that they are so obviously scammy is that and I don't know if this is completely accurate. They want to screen in the dumbest people. So they're typically going, why correct spelling? Why correct it? Like I want the dumbest, lowest morons to screen into this because those are the ones who are going to send me $5,000 for PayPal fees or something that like doesn't even exist. So there may be something to that. I don't know exactly if there is like with this or not, but I think some of it is they know that like the bottom 10% of the population, which is their target, is going to go, oh, I recognize Ellen from TV. He was on TV. Guess he's credible. Guess I'll buy this.
So once again, ladies, I'm here to say that it's not just going to be the bottom 10% anymore. They're going to start coming for us as well as upwardly mobile Black women. And we better be prepared because the technology is getting better and better. And with the technology getting better and more sophisticated to the point where I saw an article earlier today about Elon Musk wanting the um, growth of AI to be lessened because, of the capabilities that it has, and putting those capabilities in the hands of the everyday people. Um, you know, it used to just be, oh, the top 10%, the bottom 10%, the quote unquote dumb people. Now it's going to start being the desperate people who are only making $30,000, $40,000 a year, but desperately want to get into the middle class, or we who are in the middle class desperately wanting to get into the upper middle class. And here's this course for $2,500, you know, and I'm able to do it. I'm able to help you with that. I can get you a job interview. I can get you in here and in there, et cetera, et cetera. Black Widow Rowe, I saw you came off mute.
Yeah, I wanted to add a couple points. I also wanted to add too that they are also preying on people who want the convenience of an easier pivot, especially those who may like make decent enough money to afford said courses or material, but don't really want to do the research, or those who can be easily sold. Like, all of us are not going to do extensive research after someone's spoken to us about like for like 30 minutes about how good their course is or anything like that. And not everyone can really say no, if that makes sense. And I wanted to connect this too to like, I'm from the Midwest, so we have like the highest population of like ADHD. And so, can you imagine like selling to someone who is neurodivergent, whose like attention span is probably kind of short, right? But at the same time, they're probably not going to look into it because that's already too much work. But it's like they might be really desperate for the next pivot. So I want that to be said because in technology, there's a lot of neurodiverse people. There's a lot of tech layoffs, and everyone's looking for the next, like, easier upskill or the next come up.
Yeah, there's a guy that I follow in tech sales, and it's very interesting because he, for the past few years, has been talking about his journey of, being successful in tech sales, blah, blah, blah. And the last maybe 6 months, I noticed that he was different, that he was shifting. And now he was laid off from his job, which people in tech sales are only laid off from their jobs when they're not performing. And now he's got a course, and he's so happy that he doesn't have to make his 100 cold calls a day, and he's able to now, frolic on the beach and sell his courses and blah, blah, blah. So, uh, I used to think that people just like took a psychology course or whatever, but I think people instinctively, these scammers know how to prey on people. And again, they're either desperate for money at a lower level or they're desperate for money to keep up with their Lamborghini payments and their passport trips and whatever else it is that they're doing. So, you know, um, so I'm going to play a little bit more of this.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, great rant by the way. You're so right up my alley by the way. You're like speaking my language.
Okay, they're about to talk about price gouging here, ladies.
Yeah, so this is something that I often say on my channel, which is my whole problem with a lot of the advertising around, these fake gurus, because some people say, hey, doesn't everyone sort of exaggerate their product? Doesn't everyone sort of talk up their product to the moon and back? Yes. But there's a difference when you're talking about health, wealth, and happiness, really, because they're what I call inelastic price demand products, where basically normally, like if I try to sell you a phone, Jordan, there's only so much you will pay for that phone for the specs or whatever it has. If I try to sell you AirPods, there's only so much. There's a point at which you'll say, you know what? No, absolutely not. I will not take that. And that fluctuates with how much supply and demand there is. If it's the last AirPods, you pay more. If there's a ton of AirPods, you pay less. This is what's called an elastic a priced product. The price changes with supply and demand. So inelastic demand is where no matter what you're charging for it, I will buy it. I have to buy it. And so products, like, the easiest way to get people's head around this is, you have Alzheimer's. I have a magic pill that cures Alzheimer's. No one else has it. And you will pay anything, right? Because it's your life or it's the pill. So this is an inelastic demanded product. Whether I charge you $15 or $5,000, you're going to pay it. The same.
All right, ladies. So, yeah, so look, there's a lot of price gouging that's going to be happening as well, um, with regards to uh, the courses that are out there. There's also a lot of buy now, pay later. I was speaking with somebody about potentially going to a real estate uh, weekend, and the woman had the Zoom set up, blah blah blah. I wasn't there live because it was too late, so she sent me the replay. She had a firm set up and 4 or 5 different ways for you to, drag out the payments and things like that. Again, people are getting super sophisticated. They don't care what your credit score is. You think, oh, I could just walk away from this, but you may be signing terms of service where they can garnish your wages. Like, you really have to be careful about what you are signing, especially as you are um, taking these boot camps. Some of these tech boot camps out here will say, oh, it's no problem. You just pay us 10% of your income forever. And you're so desperate right now, but you don't realize that in 10 years that they may still be taking money out of your paycheck, you know? Um, Dark and Lovely is saying here, another scam is entry level tech jobs that promise you experience. You must research on all levels. Absolutely. Black Widow World, do you have anything else before I continue on with this?
No, not at the moment.
Okay. Um, I'm going to play a little bit more of this as well. Let's see
Same is
here.
true of wealth products. Because think about it. Why wouldn't you buy a $5,000 course if you truly believe it's going to make you 40,000? If you truly believe it's going to make you a millionaire, right? Because I'll pay it back. I'll put it on my credit card. I'll pay it back when I become a millionaire, right, Jordan? Like, of course that makes
Sure.
sense.
Yeah. Why not? I know people. And here's the thing: it's not just young people getting caught up in scams. I remember when I was in college, I went to law school, and I had friends who were in medical school. They would do stupid crap, and they'd go, "Well, I'm going to be a doctor, so
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about my bad credit score. I don't have to worry about being in debt. Like, I'm going to be a doctor. I'm going to be making so much money." Now those guys are making like $92,000 a year, and they're like, "Dude, my credit card debt is swallowing my lifestyle whole. I pay 20."
I'm not quite sure how a doctor makes $92,000 unless they're in residency. But hey,
Me either.
Jessica,
I'm actually shocked.
I have no idea. Like, I would have asked Jordan, this guy here. I need more details about that. What are you talking about? But let's keep going.
$8,000 a month because the interest is 16 grand on crap I bought in 2006. It's horrible. And imagine if you're not a doctor and you're paying that stuff off. You are completely effed.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So like something I covered just the other day on my channel was this real estate scam where it's another get rich quick scheme, right? Of course. But they were using celebrities to get you in the door. So they would use like
This happens in the Black community all the time, and Black celebrities are cheap. We first started out tonight's conversation about what? The Congressional Black Caucus selling themselves to TikTok for $150,000, which is no money for 56 members of Congress. So anytime I see a celebrity, especially selling a Black product, I run. I run.
guy from Shark Tank, Robert, I forgot his
Hersheyvec.
All of the Shark Tank people are for sale. I can tell you that right now. The guy, Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful, he got caught up in the SBF crypto scam where people lost, what, $10 billion? So, yeah, you think these people are rich, which Mr. Wonderful probably is, but these people will still sell their access and their influence for pennies on the dollar.
They would use these people from Flip or Flop from A&E to basically say, hey, we're promoting this real estate thing. And it was all an upsell into a $2,000 course, into a $40,000 course. The $40,000 course, nobody there has that kind of money, right? So what do they say? Well, they pitch you to the moon. They do this advertising. You want this product because you believe you're going to be able to pay it back with your millions of dollars. So they say, hey, we're going to apply for a credit card in the back. Let's go apply for a credit card right now. Right at this seminar, let's go apply for a credit card for you.
I have been in the room with that. There's a specific woman, I won't call her name. Most of you will never know who she is because she's not as relevant as she used to be. But I have been in the room where people are trying to get you to get a credit card for $20,000, $25,000. Like Jordan is saying, 40,000. And they will tell you to lie. They'll have a company lined up for you to call into in order to get these crazy interest rates, et cetera, et cetera. Be careful as you're going into these tech boot camps, and they got financing and all of that.
So you can buy this product. And you might be saying, well, hey, I don't have good enough credit. I don't make enough money to apply for a credit card that can give me a $40,000 limit. They would say, oh, well, don't worry about that. This is kind of what I consider to be an innovation in the fake guru space. Sometimes I see it. They go, hey, listen to this. Say your income is not what you're currently making. It's what you're going to make as a millionaire real estate investor.
Oh man,
So
that's illegal.
It's illegal.
That's illegal, ladies. That's fraud. That is illegal for you to say that you're making more money, adding an extra $100,000 on to your income is fraud. And if you're caught, they can fine you for that.
Oh, it's very illegal, and they got busted for it. But they would say, like, yeah, there's quotes of them in the Federal Trade Commission lawsuit. They're like, yeah, just go ahead and say you're making. We usually say whatever you're making right now, you're just going to make $100,000 more. Say that to your and they're talking to you, they're coaching you through the little credit card application. So you're like,
oh, they're like, you're on the phone with a credit card company, and they're coaching you through this?
You're like sitting there, and they're like, hey, this is what you're going to say. Go ahead, call them right now, and let's swipe that card, baby. Let's swipe that card before you leave the seminar. This is what we're dealing with. I mean, this is so people are like, oh, everybody advertises like this. Everyone does. No, this is a totally unique space of scamming. This is not, this Volkswagen is going to make you happy. This is a whole nother level of, and these people are left holding the bag. They're left with a $40,000 collection debt, for a high interest rate. They can't pay it back. They're not making the money they were promised. And then there's a money back guarantee. There's not a money back guarantee, right?
Right. It's a fake. Yeah. I've heard about this where it's like, in fact, we can talk about this right now. Why not? The money back guarantee.
The money back guarantee, ladies, always, always, always read the terms of service if you think you're going to want your money back.
Guarantee. Sure. But it's not really possible for you to get it because of, well, tell us why. I mean, I know this is like a fake, it's an action-based refund. There's sketchy policies. Tell us what's going on here.
Okay, so this is the dumbest thing ever. It's a diabolically genius, because in their webinar, they'll say 100% money back guarantee, 30 days. No, like, what do you have to lose? And they'll even tell you that. They'll go, hey, if you have nothing to lose because we have this refund, so you're just letting fear hold you back. Jordan, you're just fearful. Take the plunge, man. What could you lose? There's nothing to lose, because if you don't make money, we'll give you your money back. Then you sign up for the course, and there's this little box that says, I've read terms and conditions. In the terms and conditions, they say, well, actually, this is an action-based refund guarantee. And to do this action-based refund guarantee, you have to complete a series of the 7 circles of hell, as I like to call it, where you have to jump through hoop after hoop. First, you have to contact 12,000 businesses and get quotes from all of them. Then you have to go through 30% of the course, but not 40% of the course. So it's like this Goldilocks zone. You have to watch 30% because you have to prove you tried, but not 40% because that would be proof that you're pirating my course. And then you have to be posting once a week in the Facebook group and da-da-da. And if you don't know about that at the start, and why would you? Because they made it seem like there's no terms and conditions at all. There's just that little box you check. So people find out day 29, they email back, hey, I didn't make any money. I need my refund. They go, oh, did you complete the thing? And they're like, no, what conditions? And they say, oh, the conditions listed on our terms and conditions that you.
Yeah, you got to leave a 20-minute long video update every.
Okay. So look, definitely read the terms and conditions for anything that is substantial. As you all are taking these boot camps and all of that, just know what it is you're getting into, or consider it money that, like I do, like I have a $200 threshold. Anything below $200, if somebody scans me out of $100, I'm just like, okay, they got me, right? I have one more part of this to play, Black Widow Row, and then I think we're going to wrap it up for the evening. Did you have anything before I go to this last part?
Yeah, I just wanted to say too that if you're going to be worried about your money back, maybe you should not invest in the course, because I've been
Mm-hmm.
seeing that with a lot of the very, very high price courses. Like I've seen software development boot camp courses for almost like $4,000 and up that say stuff like that. And I
Mhm.
always feel like that's the scam, especially when a lot of them do not promise job placement. And a lot of the people who finish that boot camp end up working under the boot camp as opposed to expanding out with
Mhm.
the skills. So I want to say that.
Yeah, very true. Very true. So, let's play this last part, and then I have a couple of final comments for everybody, and we shall go. So, there are 30 people in here. Y'all have been mighty quiet for a little bit too long. Do me a favor, throw a 4 in the chat so that the algorithms still know you're listening. Throw a 4 in the chat for me. Let's continue listening to this. Throw a 4 in the chat for me, please.
How does that work?
Yeah, you got to project your income, just like with the real estate thing. You got to project how much money you're going to make in your, success story. So yeah, the revenue profit thing is really funny. I mean, I saw this guy just the other day, 0 to 20 million in 1 year in sales, right? Or he doesn't say, just he says 0 to 20 million in 1 year. Yeah, so he made 0 to 20 million dollars, but that's not profit. That's first of all revenue, and he could have spent, and I've seen this before. They'll spend $19 million, or 95% of their revenue is spent in ad spend. And so they've actually made like a tenth of what you make. So one time, because all these people were saying, you make 100K in revenue using, Amazon, I calculated how much you would profit if you made 100K in revenue. And you know what the average person would profit? 100K in revenue sounds like you're making tons of money. And that's what they all preach.
Right.
Get you to the 100K club. That's what you hear a lot. It's called your quit your job club. That's what they call it. 100K, a year in revenue, quit your job club. And it sounds convincing, but that's about $15,000 in profit.
Did everybody get that? I'm going to make myself bigger here. I hope this is, yeah. 100,000 in revenue, depending on the business, can be $15,000 in profit. Do not think about the gross. Think about the net. Do not think about the revenue. Think about the net profit that comes to you, depending on the type of business that you are getting into. Um, you know, 100K is not a lot of money, especially not these days, especially depending on where you live, Jessica. Absolutely. 100K is not a lot of money. So some people can quit their jobs with 100K. A lot of people can't. A lot of people can't. So, you know, most businesses make about 30% net profit. But guess what happens in the Black community? A lot of our businesses make less than that because of the types of businesses that we choose. Some of us don't price ourselves appropriately, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not going to go into a lot of that tonight, but um, be careful with regards to people trying to sell you like, this person made $20 million. Well, how did they make their $20 million? Well, they made it by selling this course on, how to sell online courses. Well, what did they do before that? Well, they worked at a warehouse somewhere. We see that all the time. We see that all the time, and we are prey to that, ladies. It's not just the romance coaches and the dating coaches and the wife school and all of that. Again, as upwardly mobile Black women, we are susceptible to scams with regards to us leveling up education wise. And I don't want to see that for us. So there's, again, a lot of fake PR that's happening out there. You can buy your way into CNBC, into Black Enterprise, into Essence Magazine, into there are people who have been accused of paying their way onto Earn Your Leisure and onto the biggest podcasts that are out there. Here's the thing. If somebody's paying, I'm not saying they're paying 50,000. This is just what I heard hearsay. I didn't find anything corroborating it, but let's say people are paying $50,000 to get on some of our favorite Black financial podcasts. If I pay $50,000 to get on that Black financial podcast, what length would I go to get my return on investment? On a scale of 1 to 10, ladies, what length would I go to get my return on investment if I spent $50,000 to get on my favorite Black podcast that can get me in front of tens of thousands of people?
I would say a 20.
You'd be a 20. And what would you say to people who were on the fence about your product, your online course, in order to get them over and to pull out their credit card and to spend $25,000 for your mastermind weekend?
I think it's the poking method too.
Mhm.
It's like you have to poke at their desires and their desperation for whatever is needed. And I think that's why in the beginning they're like, tell your story or like, tell me more about you.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean that's a psychological thing. It's also a rapport thing. It's within sales. They teach you that. And you learn within sales to take what people have said and as you were convincing them to purchase whatever your product or service is, for you to use the words that they have used back to them and to mirror them. That's a strategy taught by one of the greatest sales coaches out there, who's the Wolf of Wall Street, Jordan Belfort, right? So, a lot of people are saying, "Hey, you got to fake it till you make it." Just a couple other things that they said in the video that I just didn't play. They said, you got to fake it till you make it, but people are misusing that. It doesn't mean that you take advantage of people while you're working your way up. It doesn't mean that at all. You have to have some skills. The people who are successful didn't really fake it till they make it. The example that he used was like Jeff Bezos and um, Mark Zuckerberg, right? They still had some technical skills, some scale skills, some basic skills when they started their company. And then they used that in order to elevate further and further and further up. When these people say fake it till you make it, like they're not telling you the whole story. And that's one of the big things that I talked about even with Mocha Mommy, is people aren't telling us the whole story when they want us to buy these things, when they want us to buy these courses. So,
Yeah. I think if the story sounds very unrealistic, like I've been hearing with
mhm,
a lot of these Scrum Master courses, that's why I emphasize asking people in that field, like you said, and networking with those people,
mhm,
because it does sound like it's like people are speaking about certain courses as if it's like a straight linear line
mhm,
and you can just walk into that field of work. And we all know, like, for any industry, that is so not true. And you can't sell a pitfall, right? Because people are like, ooh, I'm taking this risk. You have to push the person to take that risk, to bet on you and spend their money.
yeah, yeah. And if you tell them things like, I don't know if I have the time to do this, and they're still pushing you, that's not a great thing, or there's a certain, you can be nervous about something, but if you don't have the money, like there was a story that CoffeeZilla told about some older woman was telling the salesperson that she was eating cat food, but she was willing to pay for this course. And the salespeople basically just took her money and laughed at her. Um, y- you know, these call centers, these individuals are, um, they're vicious. They're vicious and they're going to seep over into other places. The other thing is we talked well, we didn't talk, but the talk around town was about Andrew Tate and how he had all of these affiliates propping him up and things like that. Um, these individuals again are either paying people to legitimize them, or they're getting a whole bunch of minions out there to talk about them and legitimize them. I also don't trust people who come out of nowhere. I don't trust anybody that comes
Yes.
out of nowhere.
Yes, and it's okay to look at people's resume too.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would look up, especially if they came, like let's say, especially if they're selling something, but if they're like doing career advice type things,
Mm-hmm.
please pull up their LinkedIn and see how long they've worked in that field. If it's like they worked there like for 1 year or something as that job title they're trying to pivot you into, do not buy their course. I do not think it's worth the money or the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. And like I said, if you're thinking about getting into a field of study, tech, medical, etc., talk to 10 people who do not have a course to sell you, who is in that field and who can tell you the real information about what's happening in that field, what certifications you really need, what classes you really need to take, how to answer interview questions, whether the field is expanding or contracting, all of that stuff before you spend any money. You're just going to have to put the time in. So, with that, I'm going to read some final comments and we shall head out. D Day is saying, thank you for this informative video. I am starting to research schools and boot camps for my tech transition. Good luck to you, D Day. Good luck to you. Choose wisely, especially if you're on a budget. um, Victoria's in the building saying, 100 pay to play is the way in many spaces. When I see podcast shows online, I assume the person paid to be featured. Oftentimes they have been. I have been paid to be featured, but here's the thing I wasn't a pushy salesperson, and I would only pay so much to be featured. So that's another thing as well. Um, Dark and Lovely is saying 10 with regards to how people will push you. Yeah, if you got $50,000 on the line, if somebody paid you, if I paid somebody $50,000, I'd want my money back. Plus, I'm expecting 250,000 from it. So yeah, I'm a push. And Flashwave 2020 is saying I unsubscribe to everything EYL. Seems more about entertaining and being down than actually educating. I have to admit, I haven't watched EYL in years. I haven't watched them in years. I think that well, that's not true. I watched the Steve Harvey interview because I was interested in his story about his IRS payment. But other than that, I haven't really watched them. I thought about going to Invest Fest, but then I decided no. I'm really trying to do more multicultural networking. Not trying, I am doing more multicultural networking. So, um, the different the especially for the financial stuff, like I want to get into different rooms. So, but that's just me. I'm not telling anybody to not go certain places. So, with that, thank you so much, Black Widow Road, for being my co-host for the evening.
No
And
problem. Thank you for inviting me up here.
absolutely, absolutely. And you know, everybody be careful, watch out. A lot of scammers out there, not just the relationship scammers, but also in the education space, there's going to be a lot of scammers as well. So I just want you to be cautious, be watchful, um, and, take care of yourself, take care of your resources, hold them closely because it's about to be real out here. All right, everybody. Don't forget to hit the like video on your way out, and I will see you all on Friday. Take care.